Hi everyone, my name is Amity and this is Read by Amity, and today we're doing a book unhaul. I know that I just moved into this house at the end of last year, but I already have felt overwhelmed with the amount of books that I need to get onto these shelves. The entire floor underneath the shelves, and then off to the side where I'm supposed to be putting my reading chair, filled with stacks of books. So inevitably, we are going to have to put some shelves up on the wall behind you. But for now, I need to get rid of some books. So today we're getting rid of books that have been on my TBR for years. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 years. Uh, and I still have no interest in getting to them right now. So you know what? They're better going to another home. It is the Lifeline book fair today, so it's the perfect opportunity to take these books out of my house and donate them to the Lifeline book fair. Some of the books are books that I've read and do not like. Some of the books are by authors that I no longer want to support. Anyway, so let's go through the books. You can probably see the stack here. And I'm just going to quickly rapid fire what I'm getting rid of and try to keep this short and snappy. Starting off, we have To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. Christopher Paolini wrote, you can't see them in the shot, but up on my top shelf, the Aragon series. I still forget what Inheritance Cycle, I think it's called. And I was really interested in this for a while there. I bought it as soon as it came out, and then I decided that it was too intimidating. This book is massive. It is, well, it says it's only 872 pages, but I feel like in terms of an actual book, it's huge. So yeah, I bought it and I was very interested to read it. And then I was too intimidated and I put it down. Then I donated it. Then I picked up a donated copy again later because I thought I'm definitely going to read it. I'm just not going to read it. So we're going to get rid of that. And this time, if I do decide I want to read it, I don't need to have it in my collection. I'm just going to get it from the library. Then we have a book that I read last year as an advanced reader copy from NetGalley, and I had the opportunity at the book fair last year to pick up a donated copy. So I got this for $2. I got this for $2, and when I have the opportunity to, I would rather read it in physical format over ebook any day. So of course, this came up. I'm going to read it. Unfortunately, I was loving this book until the very end, and the ending completely changed everything about where the plot was going in this book, and I hated the message that it had. So that is The Farm by Jessica Mansour-Nara. Sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, this one is going back to the Lifeline Book Fair. The next book we have is The Hollows by Daniel Church, and this one, you know what? I just have to say, I am very skeptical with buying new books that I am just reading based off the synopsis, based off the blurb, books that I find in the shop, because I've been burned one too many times now, and I paid full price for this. This was this was a book that cost over $30, and I purchased it in the bookshop and I read it on the train ride home, and it was fine. It wasn't anything memorable, and that really upset me because I had such high hopes for it based on reading the synopsis on the back and the first chapter in the bookstore, or the first couple of pages in the bookstore. It was fine. It was just a little bit bland. It felt like it was trying to be a little bit like 30 Days of Night. Another one that this reminded me a lot of was Moon of the Crusted Snow. I think that's what it's called. Love that one. That one is a 5-star read. But yeah, this one unfortunately just did not do it for me. And being that I don't have a lot of room on my shelves, I am trying to keep only the books that I rate 4 and 5 stars, or that have some sentimental value to me. So yeah, The Hollows by Daniel Church, that one's gonna go. Then we have The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. This is another one of those ones where it's been on and off my TBR for the longest time, and every time I go to the book fair, I think about it and pick it up. At one point, I did own the whole series in hardback, all thrifted. I ended up donating them and opting for just this one, the first book in paperback. That way, if I liked it, I could continue. I'm not going to read it. I have no interest in reading it. I tried to watch the movie, I think it is, and I didn't like that at all. So yeah, gonna get rid of this one. Then we have two that I was a little bit on the fence about getting rid of, but I think that I've made up my mind and I'm definitely doing it. So we have Mile High and The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I read Mile High. It's been on my TBR for a while. I love hockey, and so I've been getting into hockey romance. And this was just not it. This was not for me. I didn't enjoy the plot line. The hockey player was an asshole and felt like he was based off a hockey player in real life that I don't really like. And so when I went and did some research, it's not confirmed, but the speculation is that it definitely is. So for me, I was not interested, and people say that the series gets so much better and is one of the top tier hockey romance series, but I'm just not going to take that and read an entire series to see if I like it when I know that I definitely didn't like this one. So, you know, if I'm missing out, I'm missing out. But for now, donating The Right Move and Mile High. And someone else is going to love having these. So I don't mind getting rid of them if they can go to another home. So we'll go those. Then we have two books that I thrifted at the last book fair, and that is The Age of Chaucer, edited by Boris Ford, and Charles Dickens' Bleak House. I think it's case books, so like essays. I thought this was, when I picked it up, I thought it was Bleak House, but I started to read it and realized that it was essays written about Bleak House, so I'm going to donate that one again. And The Age of Chaucer, I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. I think this one, I just went through my classics collection and kind of did an audit of what I had, and I was not really that drawn to it while I was reading it. So happy to donate these ones again. And these kinds of books are always at the book fairs, so I'm not worried that if I decide one day I want to read The Age of Chaucer, however it's said, I don't feel like I will have trouble finding a copy of it. Bleak House, I need to read the actual book before I'm even begin to become interested in reading essays about the book, so that one's going. Then we have one that I am a little bit devastated about, and that is Boys Will Be Boys. Boys Will Be Boys by Clementine Ford. This one I read after reading, you can't see, but it's up there. I read Fight Like a Girl, and it was one of my favorite books of that year that I read it. So I read Boys Will Be Boys thinking that it would be fantastic as well, but it was kind of just a reiteration of Fight Like a Girl, but targeted more towards, not even targeted more towards men, but more focused in on the how we need to look at raising our sons and teaching boys to do the right thing. Then we have another classic adjacent book, which is The Real F. Scott Fitzgerald, 35 Years Later by Sheila Graham. So I went through a period of time where I was collecting everything Gatsby related that I could find, and this was at the book fair and looked really interesting. I'm just now realizing, not just now, but I recently realized that I really have not a lot of interest in reading these sorts of books and these sorts of spin-off books, and I have so many other books that I want to read, so I'm not going to keep this on my shelf just for the sake of it because it has F. Scott Fitzgerald's name on it, but I'm sure that someone else will read it. Next, we have The Bird in the Bamboo Cage by Hazel Gaynor. I was given this book to read by an ex-co-worker, and I'm just not interested in these sort of war adjacent stories. I know that it is a popular book, so gonna chuck that one in the donation bin as well. Then we have Lights Out by Navessa Allen, which I'm sad about because I bought this and another copy of this for my friend and I to buddy read, and I just really didn't enjoy this the way that I wanted to. I was recommended it by so many different people, and it was between Lights Out and the other one that's similar to that. I can't remember what it's called. Put it up here if I can remember. But yeah, I just wanted there to be more slasher, more murder horror than there was, and there just wasn't enough. So it didn't really give me the serial killer romance vibes that I was looking for. Then we have three that I was really excited for quite a while there, but I think that I'm just not really interested in this specific style of thriller, horror, suspense books. So we have The Chalkman by C.J. Tudor, we have The Taking of Annie Thorne by C.J. Tudor, and we have The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor. I It's not that I don't like her writing, it's just that I used to be so much more impulsive with my buying, and I assumed that I would really enjoy The Chalkman and The Taking of Annie Thorne, and so I just started collecting CJ Tudor books when I hadn't read any CJ Tudor books. So I need to get rid of them so that I don't feel guilty every time I look at them, because I'm not going to read them. Then we have two that I picked up from a book fair probably 6 years ago now, actually longer because it was before COVID. So I'm going to say probably 7 or 8 years ago now, and I mainly got them because it used to be so difficult to get hardcover books in Australia, and I was building my collection at the time. I really wanted hardcover books. I was interested in crime, thriller, horror, that kind of genre, and so when I came across these at the book fair, I had to grab copies of them because they were hardcovers. So we have It Ends With Her by Brianna Lubuscus and Bone Music by Christopher Rice. I know that I've tried to read them both and I just had no interest in it, so they're going to go back to the book fair. Then we have these ones which I was quite devastated about, but again, I did the purchasing before I tried the first book. We're not going to go into it, but we have God of Malice and God of Pain by Rena Kent. These are the indie special editions, so they've got the slightly alternate cover. I really wanted to love this series. I do think that it gets probably better as it goes on. A lot of people don't like book one and love book 4, 3 and 4, I think it is. I just have so many books that I want to read that I'm probably not going to get to these. So someone else can enjoy them and someone else will appreciate having the indie special editions or whatever they may be called. So that is these ones. What is this series called? Legacy of Gods. So yeah. Then we have these books which I have been taking on and off my bookshelves for quite a few years now, and that is Gumiho and Dokubi. I'm sorry if I butchered that one. The English translation is Wicked Fox and Vicious Spirits by Kat Cho. These look incredible and the synopsis sounds great. They are young adult. I just feel like I'm not going to keep them on my shelves. I can read them from the library if I want to, and so I'm going to donate them so that someone else can enjoy them. Then we have Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. I really, really wanted to love this one. I have a draw towards sister stories. Unfortunately, this just didn't really do it for me. I think that it has something to do with the fact that it is a YA, and at the time I read it, I was really not enjoying YA. I'm kind of back on the YA train now, but not enough to keep this and reread it at all. And again, someone else can enjoy it. And the other one we have here is I Kiss Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I loved Red, White, and Royal Blue. I didn't mind what was the other one called? One Last Stop. I just don't really have any interest to read this. Then we have the Thursday Murder Club mystery series. We have the Thursday Murder Club, The Man Who Died Twice, and The Bullet Train. Oh, sorry, The Bullet That Missed. And these I picked up from the book fair to read, and I read the Thursday Murder Club and was happy with how that went and wasn't interested in continuing on. This got made into a series recently, I think, that I watched. Is this a series on one of the streaming services now with Pierce Brosnan and those people in it? I think it is. But I watched it if it is based off this book, and love that. So if I'm going to continue consuming that world, it'll probably be by the series if they continue it. So then we have The Girls by Emma Cline. I wanted to be that girl that could read this, but it just did not hook me, so I'm not going to read it, and I know that it will be enjoyed by others. And we have Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison, which I read last year and thought it was not great. I bought it for the festive read and then got told that there was barely any festivity in it. I read it anyway. That person was right. So unfortunately, gonna get rid of this one. But I did also get Good Spirits, and that one was quite a bit more festive and just fun all round. So I'm going to keep that one, but I'm getting rid of Love Life Farms. Then we have another series where I bought more than the first book because I was impulsive, and that is My Dark Romeo and My Dark Desire by L.J. Shen and Parker S. Huntington. I've never been a romance person, but I am a Shakespeare person. So I saw Romeo and I thought, hell yeah, I'm going to read that. Turns out, not interested at all. Don't really want to read any L.J. Shen. Unfortunately, I did pay full price for both of these, so hopefully someone else gets the most from them. And finally, we have The House Witch and the Enchanting of the Hearth by Delamac, or I think it's Emily Nikita. I'm not sure, but it is this book, and I have been really interested to read it, but I've recently had a few friends tell me that it was absolutely shit and not worth it at all. So definitely pick that one off my shelf and put it straight into my donation pile. So this one's gonna go. That is all the books that I am unhauling today that I'm going to donate and disperse amongst the free little libraries in my area. I do want to get a free little library in front of my own house, but that is a journey that I'm going to have to put some more time and effort into before I can do. And when that happens, my books will probably go straight in there rather than all of the other ones. We'll see. But yeah, now that I've cleared those out of my library, I don't have room for new books, but I am about to go to the book fair, so we're probably going to get some new books anyway. And I'll see you next time.